Hey guys, this is Sarge and Lego Maniac. Be sure to check out my other social media accounts and my Patreon. Links are down below. I hope you guys liked the intro. It was definitely fun to film and edit, and I am proud to present my custom Red vs. Blue figures. I started watching the show earlier this year with my roommate, and we instantly loved it. The characters are fantastic, the use of Halo graphics are impressive, and the humor is outstanding. Over time, I thought it would be interesting to do something similar to my first order showcase, which I made like 5 different variants of stormtroopers. These custom minifigures are definitely the most repetitive work I've ever done, and I am glad that they are all finished. The showcase wouldn't be that long because literally almost everyone has the exact same accessories, paint job, and sculpted parts. I got the helmet, visor, and armor from Brickforge. However, they don't have the exact colors I want, so I had to paint over most of them, such as Simmons, Grif, Donut, Lopez, Church, and Tucker. All the details are exactly the same design on nearly every figure besides Caboose's helmet, which we'll get to later. The only things I've sculpted are the shoulder pads, the crotch area, the knee pads, the wrist, and the feet, and all the weapons are from Brickforge with my own painted details. Lastly, I painted these figures based on their Halo 3 appearance, and not their recent look, in case you are wondering. I'll go over every single figure though, but only pointing out something that's different about them. Sarge was the first I completed, and he was really easy to paint because all I really did is just paint black outlines over red armor. He wields a brick arm shotgun with some painted details. The red paint over the sculpted areas is this glossy apple barrel red paint that doesn't really fit Lego's red as well, but I think it's good enough. It's the same red paint that I used for my Spider-Man figure. Simmons was tough to do because I had to paint pretty much everything on this figure in this same dark red color. Originally, I had this perfect maroon color, but then I forgot how I made it, so I just grabbed dark red paint and pretty much had to redo him all over again. It sucks that his color is a bit inaccurate, but what can I do? He doesn't have a signature weapon. In fact, nobody in Red Team besides Sarge has his signature weapon, so I decided to give him a rocket launcher based on his fight scene with the Reds and Blues against Epsilon Tex. Grif was a tricky. In the Blood Gulch Chronicles, he looked a bit yellow, then orange, which started this whole debate back then. Now in later seasons, he is clearly orange. What I have here is more in the middle. To me, during the Freelancer sagas, he looked a little bit more light orange, so I ordered a light orange minifigure part and painted his armor in that same color. For some reason, he looks completely yellow in every photo, which I had to explain in my every description every time I post a preview photo for my Red vs. Blue. The painting job is a little rough, and I had a tough time mixing the colors I want for this guy. But in the end, it turned out okay. Now this cone is actually from Megabox. Now before you guys complain, yes, it is not Lego, but let me stop you right there. You know what isn't Lego? The sculpted bits on every custom minifigures, third-party accessories such as brick arms and Brickforge, and most important of all, paint. Those aren't Lego too, but I don't see anyone complaining about it. So me or anyone else using Mega Blocks or Minimates or any third-party accessory or any material that isn't Lego shouldn't be a big problem, especially if it is compatible with the minifigures. Donut wasn't all that bad, considering that the only tough part was pretty much recoloring his armor and helmet. The rest, I just ordered pink parts.
It's lightish red!
Okay. I just ordered lightish red parts and painted the details. I had to mix the pink paint I had with white to make sure that the paint matches up with Lego's color. He is the only character in the showcase to have some sort of a different color band on his arm. Lopez is pretty easy, considering you can't really see most of the black details on dark brown surfaces, so I don't have to be concerned if the paint job is even good. He's the only character I actually painted yellow lights onto. Now all Mark 6 suits in Halo 3 have some LED light on their shoulders and thighs, but I only did that for Lopez because since you can't see the black outlines anyway, I think adding yellow lights at least makes him stand out. Meanwhile, I didn't paint lights on the rest of my Red vs. Blue minifigures because I like them better without it. I cut a piece of those Lego hinge piece. You know that Lego Connect piece with that large rubber cylinder? I don't know what it's called, but I cut it and I use it for Lopez's wrench. Church was actually pretty tricky to paint and probably the hardest minifigure of them all. His color is actually very hard to get right. This took like over 4 attempts of different types of cobalt blue color I had to make. I originally wanted to go with sand blue and try to match Lego's color scheme, but any color that has the word sand in front of it is difficult to make. So I went with light blue, but it doesn't look that accurate to the show, so I scrapped that. And so over time I had to mix like many different blue colors, and eventually I got this cobalt blue I want, as you see here. I don't think it's that accurate to the show, but I definitely think it's a lot closer than before. His sniper rifle is actually from Brick Forge with some modification. I sculpted this loop thingy and I used this Lego antenna piece to make the stock. Making Tucker's color wasn't all that difficult, to be honest. It was actually pretty easy to get this turquoise color, and painting the rest is a breeze. Originally, I was going to order a clear energy sword from Brick Arms and cut a Lego gray rod for the handle and glue the blades back together, like what I did for my Arbiter. But for some reason, Brickforge doesn't sell transparent energy swords anymore. So instead, I just ordered a blue energy sword from Brickforge and I just pinned the effects on top. Caboose is my favorite character for a number of reasons. His helmet is from X39 Brick Customs, and it is the same helmet I am painting for my Master Chief figure. Like Sarge, I don't have to paint the whole entire armor, and I just simply painted the black outlines. His assault rifle, Freckles, is actually from Brick Arms. Originally, I wanted to have this cool display feature for Freckles, so it looks like he's shooting confetti, but I just didn't have the time or effort to do so. Tex is different because unlike all the other characters who have different color armor and with black outlines, Tex has a black armor with gray outlines. I went with gray because it just doesn't make sense for me to paint black onto black, so I went with gray instead to make sure the outline still stands out on this figure. Since she is the only female in this showcase, she is the only one who has a sanded curved torso. Originally I wanted to give her the SMGs like she used to have back in the Blood Gulch Chronicles, but since my Miranda Keys has them, I just gave her a battle rifle instead. Doc really isn't part of Blue Team, but he does hang out with them the most out of the Blood Gulch crew. I don't have the perfect purple paint to match Lego, so I went with this Craft Smart paint for the sculpted bits. The armor and helmet are originally purple, so I don't have to paint everything like most of the figures you've seen here. His plasma pistol is from Brick Arms, and I painted all these details you see here. If you want, you can display him with a rocket launcher to portray his dual personality O'Malley. Our last character in the showcase is Andy. This little bomb actually isn't painted by me. My roommate actually wanted to paint something for me, and he asked if he could paint Andy since he is pretty simple. I let him paint it because during that time I was trying to finish up the rest of the Red vs. Blue and a few other commissions for a friend. He painted a Lego ball piece, dark green, and he painted a red circle with silver markings around it. And that's pretty much it. If there's one thing I would do to make Andy better, I would figure out a way how to make him explode. That's all for my Red vs. Blue showcase, guys. I have some questions for you. Who is your favorite character in the show? How many of you guys actually know Red vs. Blue, whether you've heard of it or you have seen it? How many of you don't know Red vs. Blue? Besides, I highly recommend the show, it's hilarious. What is your favorite saga? Mine is the Recollection series because of new characters and more knowledge about the freelancers and the AIs. Whatever your answer is, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if you are excited for more Red vs. Blue customs. If I have time and money in the future, I'll definitely make a Sheila build and the Puma, and maybe the Blood Gulch base. Thanks for watching, and remember, do the chupa.